Welcome back to part two of a conversation that we started last week on how you can get the most out of your life. So, if you missed that episode, then definitely go back and watch that. I hope I did a good job at really building a case around why presence matters so much. You guys, I have been, I know that maybe you guys heard this already, but I celebrated my 46th birthday at the beginning of this month. And in fact, I'm still celebrating. Like, hello. My husband came home the other day and he's like, "Wow, why'd you get that?" And I'm like, "Because I'm still celebrating my birthday. That's why." Just kidding. Um, but I was thinking of a way that I could give back to you guys, to my audience, to my friends and family, and to my clients. And I was thinking and reflecting over the last 46 years of my life and what has made the biggest difference. And I can honestly tell you, it has been learning how to become present because I have struggled with this almost all of my life. Right? I am not the kind of person that I was present. If you came to my house 10 years ago, I would have been the one that was running around doing all the things, making sure everything was perfect, making sure that this was clean and that was clean and like that was me. My sister, my middle sister was the one that she's naturally just better at being. She just naturally has this gift of being present with people, and she really had this ability, and I'm so grateful for her and the fact that she taught me this because this was something that was very, very foreign to me. I did not take the time to be present with people. Like I've shared this story before too, but the first time I ever did yoga, I hated it because I was like, this is so stupid. If I'm going to be working out for an hour or 2 hours, I want to sweat my butt off. I want to know that I worked really, really, really hard and I want to feel it. You know what I mean? Like that was me before. And I'm so grateful at the gift that my sister gave me in that she was just naturally good at this. When my kids were little, I was a single mom for several years. And while I was busy doing so many things, my sister was the one who took up the slack and she really just was able to be present with my girls. And she taught me so much about what it means to just be. Like, I used to hear like this word present or like, anything that required slowing down. And I would just like it was like nails on a chalkboard, like, oh, this is no, 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 no. But what I began to see happen was as I got older and as I wanted to really get the most out of my life. I wanted to get the most out of being a mom and a wife, and I wanted to get the most out of my relationship. So what started happening was the opposite, right? Because I wasn't physically present, because I was always consumed in my thoughts about what I was supposed to do next, how I was supposed to, thinking about my to-do list, thinking about all the things that I had to get done, like utilize every moment, do not let any moment pass by without filling it full of stuff. It started costing me. And maybe the same is true for you. Maybe it's starting to cost you. Maybe you are starting to feel your health suffer or your relationships suffer, or, maybe you're starting to feel like my life is legit passing me by and I don't even know what I have to show for it. Right? Like, I don't even know what just happened. Like, what really just happened? Right? That's how it can feel if we're not physically present. And today I'm going to have a shorter episode because my last episode ended up being really long. And for those of you that stuck with me through that whole thing, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate the fact that you're willing to maybe do something that feels uncomfortable or doesn't feel natural to you. Like when we're starting out on this journey, especially of like presence or mindfulness or things like that, a lot of times like it can feel really foreign, right? Maybe we're not used to that. Like by all means, our society is not one that is teaching mindfulness and teaching that you are okay in this moment. It is not teaching that you are should be in your physical body. If anything, it is teaching us that we need this next thing and we need to do this. And if only we looked this way, or if only we did this to our bodies, or if only, right? I mean, we are bombarded by these types of messages. We don't live in a society that is conducive to presence. And so it becomes really, really difficult to maintain or even tap into that presence in the beginning. So I want to tell you that if you have come back for part two, you really need to take a moment to celebrate yourself, give yourself a freaking huge pat on the back, because this stuff is not easy. This is not easy. This is not to try to even entertain the idea to get out of this hamster wheel of your thoughts and engage in your physical body and engage in the gift of this moment. That is not something that is easy. So for that, I applaud you. Honestly, like huge, 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 huge um I don't know, to you, huge blessings to you. I don't the words are failing me. I've been talking way too much today. But this is not something that, we're taught in school. This is not something that people practice on a regular basis. Like, yes, if you get into different types of communities, maybe you can learn different mindfulness practices, or, if you do any type of somatic body work, this is a huge practice, and a lot of what I teach is somatic body work. But it's it's it, it becomes a challenge, right? To not only learn how to get here, to learn how to become present, but it's a challenge to stay there. So that becomes the practice, right? That becomes the practice. Like, okay, I felt this once, that felt really good. I felt like, I was able to, become present to this moment, and maybe all of a sudden the sounds were more vibrant, the colors were more vibrant, the tastes, all of a sudden, like, your senses come to life. Maybe it felt like that for you, but now it's a matter of, how do I maintain this when I have 4 kids and a really stinking busy schedule? That's where the rubber meets the road, right? Like when my baby is crying at 2 in the morning and I have to wake up at 5, like that's where the rubber meets the road. When I have to give a presentation in front of a boardroom or in front of an audience, that's where the rubber meets the road. When I have to ask for that raise, that's where the rubber meets the road, even if it's in, simple conversations with the people that you love. That's where the rubber meets the road. It's the question then becomes like, okay, I did this once. I was able to practice presence and being in my physical body one time, but now can I do that again? That's that's where things really start to shift and change for a lot of people, is when they can start to do it all the time in their life. These practices that I teach, I've heard people say things like, I felt invisible before I started to learn how to do these things. And I felt invisible. I didn't feel seen or heard in really any situation in my life. And the other day I was at the grocery store and I had people letting me go in front of them in the line. And I had somebody comment and stop and comment on my outfit and say, "Oh my gosh, your hair is amazing," or whatever. Right? So it's presence and learning how to become present is what makes you magnetic. It's what allows people to be drawn to you, not in a bad way, not in a way of like, oh, she's hot, oh, like, or not in a negative way, but in a good way, like, oh my gosh, I could really see her. I could really feel her essence, because we all bring something to the table that is different and unique. And how many of you know that if you are putting up a mask and not allowing the world to see you for who you really are, because of you're afraid of how people might perceive you, or you're afraid that this character flaw, or this quirkiness or whatever might come across in the wrong way? How many of you know that if you're putting up any type of mask, people can't see the real you? They can't be drawn to you. They can't be magnetized to you. And it's when you learn to become physically present that you understand, like, this is me. And whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter, because I'm okay with that. I'm okay with who I am. And learning how to be physically present, that's what this does for you. It gets you out of this mind chatter. This is what we talked about in the last episode. So please, 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 I feel like I did hopefully you're going to say stellar job at showing you the difference between the mind bubble, like being outside of your body, versus being in your physical body. So I don't want to go back over that. So if you missed it, definitely go and watch that. But the difference in those two is so stark, right? One, when you're in your head bubble, is like, I feel disconnected. She doesn't seem like she knows what she's talking about. Like, she just spoke and I have no idea what she even said. Versus when you come into your physical body, people are able to see you. They're able to maybe even see past your nerves. One of the things that I talked about in the last episode was that, anytime we're giving a presentation, anytime we're giving any sort of talk, or pitching something in front of a boardroom or in front of an audience or anything like that, it does not matter how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter how much you know your stuff. It doesn't matter how many degrees you have. It doesn't matter how well you have your speech memorized and how you're going to hit all the points and you have all the vocal intonation planned in, you have the jokes planned in, you have the pauses planned in, you have all the stuff that's necessary in order to give a good speech. It doesn't matter if you're not able to be physically present. Because when you step outside of your physical body, it's almost like it creates this barrier between you and your audience. Like that mask that I was saying that sometimes people put up because they don't want to come across a certain way, or they don't want people to judge them, or they don't want, this quirky flaw to show up, like, I'm so dumb when I'm this. But how many of you know that when you do that, a mask goes up? The same is true when you step outside of your physical body, right? All of a sudden, people are not really listening. They're grabbing their phones. They're, maybe this has happened with you and your spouse or your kids, or, the people that you work with. So it's learning how to become present and then practicing that in those types of situations, right? Practicing it when the stakes are high, and also when you're just doing the menial tasks of life, right? When you're cooking a meal, how present can you be? And the presence practice that I offered you last week was, I just had you guys close your eyes and just think about getting into your belly, right? Just bringing all of your attention, not as though you're looking at your belly from the outside, but thinking about being inside your belly. I know it sounds weird, and I know all of this stuff sounds extremely woo-woo. I know that. But when you experience it for yourself, that's when you'll become a believer. That's when you'll understand, oh my gosh, right? The first time that I experienced true presence and I was able to, um, access this moment, something crazy happened to me. I've shared the story before, so I won't share it again, but it was like something unlocked, and I experienced something that I couldn't put words to. And so this I think will be the case for you as well. When you start to experience presence in your life, even if right now it's like la la la, she's still talking about the same thing that is so stupid. Like, I am busy. Tell me what I need to do. Right? Don't tell me that I need to be. Tell me what I need to do. When you experience that for the first time, you'll understand. It'll all of a sudden it'll make sense. And then you'll be like me, where it's like, how can I do this in every area of my life? So today's exercise, another practice, I want to just give you guys another practice because, again, these are things that will really help you not only access it, but then ongoing. Like, how can I keep this going? How can I do this in my day-to-day life? How can I do this when I'm outside on a walk? How can I do this when I'm interacting with my coworkers? How can I do this when I'm in the car? How can I do this when I'm with my kids? How can I do this when I'm sharing or giving a message or writing a book or doing whatever it is that you do? And again, that is when you really start to see, okay, this is the magic sauce. This is the thing, you guys. The people that you are drawn to the most, that is probably one thing that they have access to, more so than you, and it's this ability to be physically present. So, and this just came to mind. I want to share one example. So I've shared this before, and in fact, I've shared this a lot of times now. But when you think about the different ways that you interact with, let's say that you're going to the zoo, and let's say that you go and you watch the monkeys at the zoo, right? Think about like how you respond to the monkeys at the zoo. Like when you go and watch them in their exhibit, like it just feels fun and lighthearted. Like they're just cruising around, like they're picking their nose or they're, picking each other, or one's like, doing something dumb, and just like it just feels lighthearted and fun. It's not serious. Like they're just, it's just, I mean, you could kind of take it or leave it, right? Versus, how do you feel when you go and you witness the lions at the zoo? When you go to the lion exhibit, think about how you respond to the lions in that cage, right? Like the way that you respond to them is different, right? Like you see them, and all of a sudden you're like, because they are so much in their physical body, because they are so present, it's almost like it raises your awareness to them. Like you feel, I mean, sometimes it's like chills, or like the hairs on your arms, raise, or, you just respond to them different. I mean, think about the way that they move and the way that they are. It's like every step that they take is deliberate, right? Every you know Every move that they make, every muscle fiber in their body is on. They might be like, walking across their grounds, but they've got one eye on you. Like they are aware of what is going on. And that's the difference between somebody who is physically present versus someone who is outside of their bodies. So today's practice that I want to give you is an activation in what is called the vertical core. And this is just a simple exercise that you can do anytime. But I want to just lead you through this. So again, if you are driving or you are doing something where you can't close your eyes, and then just come back to this. We're at 20 minutes, so you could fast forward through all the rest of the stuff and come back just to this exercise. But I want you to just take a moment to close your eyes. And again, we just start with breath, because breath work, you guys, is so incredibly important. If you are in a situation and you just need a quick reframe, or you just need a quick boost of power, you just are like, getting caught up in your thoughts, breath is something that can connect you to your body. It's something that is extremely beneficial and extremely powerful. So even something as simple as just taking some deep belly breaths can really be a great practice. Like when you're feeling stressed out, maybe you're driving or you have a high stakes situation, practicing breath work is so important. But I want to teach you today about the vertical core. And so we have different energy centers in our body. But for the sake of this exercise, I want to just talk about 3 different ones. We have one in our mind, we have one in our heart, and we have one in our belly. And each one of them individually do like our how do I say it? They I'm trying to be quick and I'm having a hard time with this. They have different functions, right? So when you get into your mind, when you bring your attention into your mind, and this is again just a mindfulness practice, this is just taking your awareness into your mind. What this activation point does is allows you to understand the expansion, right? It gets you kind of tapped into infinite possibilities. It gets you tapped into exponential um, growth and possibilities and potential. The heart energy center, it is designed to allow you to feel that unconditional love, to feel supported, to feel joy. Oftentimes, when we think about like a loved one or something, it's usually from like this point that we feel it, like that love that's extended to someone else or that love that's received back. And then finally, your belly, or what is sometimes referred to as your womb space, this is your life force. This is like, this is the the growth potential. This is where when you tap into this, you really start to unlock your full potential. I can't say it any other way. So but when you unlock those 3 energy points at the same time, something really powerful happens. Right? And again, this is not getting too woo-woo for anyone, but it is just a practice that I want to give you, that you can do this, whether you're a Christian or, whatever spirituality you come from, this is for anyone. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths. So I want you to inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And we're going to do that again 2 more times. Big inhale through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And each time I want you just to feel a little more settled, a little more grounded, a little more relaxed. Just allowing the stress and the worry and the thoughts about what you have to do in the next moment or thinking about all the things that you did before this moment, just let them wash away. And I want you to bring all of your attention into your mind's center. So think about like going back towards the back of your head, not so much in the front of your head. And again, that your attention is inside of your body. It's not like you're um, looking at yourself. It's like you're feeling yourself from the inside. So bring all of your attention into your mind center. You can imagine that you have a cross section between your temples and then the middle point of your head. And then it's this is the wrong way, towards the back of your spine. So just take a few breaths here, just feeling that expansion, feeling that infinite possibility, infinite potential. And then I want you to keep your attention there and also go down and connect to your heart space. And again, it's probably more towards your spine, your focus. And I want you to think and see if you can keep your awareness in your mind and also bring your awareness to your heart. And just breathe. And once you're there, and this may take longer, so if you need to pause this, you can until you feel the two connected. Keep those two connected, your mind point and your heart center, and then bring your attention also now to your womb space. And you can think of this physically like 2 inches under your belly button and back towards your spine. So it's almost like your tailbone, right? Or is that your sacrum? I don't know. But think of your lowest part of your spine and just down in that womb space. And now can you breathe and connect all three? And you can literally take as much time as you want here. Sometimes it's going to take practice, right? If you've never done this before, if this is something that feels brand new to you. So if you want, you can go ahead and open your eyes. But that practice, you guys, will allow you to really activate your what am I trying to say? It just activates you. It doesn't activate you as any way or anything. It just allows you to really be in your physical body, right? Like being in your mind kind of even allows that spinal alignment. Being in your heart allows your chest to open and be receptive. And then being grounded in your womb space allows you to stay connected. It's kind of that groundedness that you need. So, anytime that you need a boost of presence or anytime that you need to really feel like you're getting out of that mind chatter, that you're getting out of your head bubble, practice this. This is such an important thing that you can do in any area of your life. And once you do this, then it's a matter of like, can I do this with my eyes open? Can I do this in, again, all the different areas of my life? So that is the practice that I have for you guys today. I really, really, really hope that this helps you. And if it does, I would honestly love to hear from you. I would love to hear if you had any ahas, takeaways, anything that, came up for you while doing this, anything that you experienced as a result of this. If you're like, if you do this with me today and you get in your car and you go to the grocery store and people are responding to you different, please, please, please let me know, because this is it, you guys. This is the magic sauce. This is what is going to allow you to truly get the most out of your life in every area of your life. This is what is going to help you in health and your physical nutrition and your physical body and your workouts and all of those things. It's going to help you in your relationships. It's going to help you in your career. And it's going to help you to step into your full power. Because when we can feel like we are physically present, guess what? We're more readily available to show up, even if we don't think we can, even if we have all the evidence pointing towards this is not possible. This is what is going to allow you to do those things that you were meant to do. Okay, also, I have to invite you. We have 1 week left for registering for my presence activation. This is a complimentary webinar that I am hosting on June 7th. It'll be on Zoom. So if you feel like you got something out of this and you are ready to go even deeper, then message me. I'm on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can email me. I will include my email in the show notes. Or you can go to my website, RebeccaGage.com, and you can book a call. If this is something, if you feel like, we have just barely scratched the surface of this and I want more, I need more of this in my life, then book a strategy call, a connection call. And let's talk about what's going on in your life. Let's see, like, if I can serve you more in this way as a coach, that is one of my life's missions, is to help you to really be able to unlock that in you. So let me know if you guys want more information and if you want to be a part of that webinar. And yeah, just practice this and start to see what unfolds for you. You can just, like, in the beginning, be such a naysayer, but once you experience this for yourself, there's no going back, guys. So your life will forever be changed. So thank you all so much. Sorry for the long episode again, but I guess this is what needed to happen. So we will see you guys later. Take care, everyone. Bye.